Yo guys, what's up? In this video I am going to be showing you how to kill Nihils. I've shown myself killing Nihils in a few of my latest videos and a couple of you have actually requested me to make a guide, so here it is. First of all, these are some general requirements that you need to actually start killing them. The first one is the completion of the Fate of the Gods quest. The second one is 92 plus prayer for soul split. This isn't actually required, but I highly recommend having it. This is because if you do have it, your trips will last a lot longer, and with it you'll be able to tank a few Nihils at the same time, which will increase your kills per hour, so it's just a lot better if you do have it. The third requirement is 96 plus herb lore. This is obviously for overloads. I will explain why you need this later on in the video. I also highly recommend a 80 plus tier range weapon. These are really easy to come by, just either use a chaotic one or a royal crossbow. And the last thing I recommend is to have at least 70 plus tier ranged armor, so armadil at the minimum. So there are 4 Nihils that you can kill in their little lair. I actually only recommend killing one of them, and that is the smoke Nihil. This is because it gives better common drops than the rest of them, and it is in general just a lot easier to kill these than the other ones. But I'm going to give you information on all of them just in case you want to try slaying any of the other ones. The first one is the Blood Nihil. These have 25,000 life points, and this one has a special attack that is called the Siphon Shield. When this shield is up, all attacks against the Nihil will heal it. So if the Nihil does use its special attack, make sure you stop hitting it. The way that you'll know that it's up is that it will say hiss a couple of seconds before it actually does the special move. This is for all the Nihils. All the Nihils will say hiss before they do their special move. I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later on. But anyway, it does have a passive as well, and that passive is that it uses any damage it takes to heal other nearby Nihils. So if you have aggroed a few Nihils, make sure to kill this one last, otherwise this one will just heal the others when you are killing it. Also, these are weak to magic, so make sure you use that if you plan on killing them. Next up, we have the Ice Nihil, and these have 20,000 life points each. Their special ability is a stun, and this can bind and stun you for up to 6 seconds. So if they do end up stunning you, you can use freedom to get out of it, or if you see them hiss, you can use anticipate before they actually do their ability, and this will prevent it from stunning you. These also have a passive ability, and that is for every hit that it does, it drains 50 prayer points, so that can get quite annoying. And also, if you are going to kill them, make sure you're using ranged because they are weak to range. Next up, we have the Shadow Nihil, and this has 15,000 life points. Its special attack summons a shadow in the area that you are standing in, and it can hit you for up to 1,500 damage. To avoid this, just move out of the way of the shadow and you should be fine. It also has a passive which makes it take less damage the further away you are. So if you're planning on killing these, I highly recommend using melee as you'll be right up close, and they are also weak to melee as well. Now these are the ones that I recommend killing, and they are called the Smoke Nihils. These have 20,000 life points each, and their special attack is the Smoke Barrage, and this summons a smoke barrage that reduces your combat stats by 5 every tick. So to avoid this, all you have to do is move out of the way of the smoke barrage just like the shadow one, and that should prevent it from reducing your combat stats. The reason why I recommended overloads here is because if you are using overloads, your combat stats just simply won't get reduced. It will for a period of time, but then it will go straight back up to 115 or whatever it is. So you don't really have to worry about your combat stats being reduced, so that means you won't really have to pay attention to the smoke barrage. But if I were you, I'd move out of the way of the smoke barrage anyway, just in case, especially if you're tanking 2 or 3 of them, because it can get quite annoying when 2 or 3 are trying to steal your stats at the same time. And obviously I recommended range to kill this because they are weak to ranged. So this is the inventory and gear that I usually take. I take 4 overloads and 8 super restores in my inventory. I fill the rest of my yak with super restores. I also have a spare yak pouch and some yak scrolls, and I have a 6-stage circuit to get to the entrance. Now don't be worried looking at my gear, this is just the armor that I wear pretty much everywhere. Just make sure you have at least level 70 armor and level 80 tier weapons, and then just try to use the best ring, boots, bracelet and cape that you can. Also if you have any aura, feel free to use them here, and make sure you use the shot of Zaros that you get from the Fate of the Gods quest here as well, as that will keep the Nihils from being aggressive on you. So if you've just completed the Fate of the Gods quest and you haven't got the teleport to the Nihils already, I'm going to show you how to do it on screen now. Basically just teleport to the Guthix's shrine and then talk to this guy, and he will automatically add the teleport to your ring. Then use the teleport on the ring to teleport to the world gate. Once you are here, just enter the pit. Then just run to the middle of this little arena and then click on the second option, which is Slay for Slayer and other combat stuff. And then all the Nihils will spawn. As I mentioned earlier, the ones that I recommend killing are the smoke Nihils, and these spawn on the eastern side of the arena. So this is the side that you should be on throughout the majority of your trip, because they'll basically just keep spawning on you. I usually like to tag them as soon as they spawn, so aka just make them aggressive on you as soon as they spawn, because if not they'll carry on running around the arena and it does get quite annoying if you have to like chase after them all the time. So yeah, just keep a lookout for when they spawn and tag them. Also, as you can see, there is the hiss I mentioned earlier, and also if you are in the smoke that drains your combat stats, your guy will start to cough. So that's a pretty nice way of the game telling you that you're actually in there and you need to get out. Remember that you need to be at least 2 squares away from it in order to be out of the smoke completely, so just make sure you're at least 2 squares away. As for the drops that you want to be picking up, you want to be picking up everything. Do not leave anything on the ground because everything that they drop is worth something, especially the Avianti Talons and the Elder Charms, and I'm going to show you what you should do with them right now. So with the Avianti Talons, what you want to do is you want to transmute them into the ones that will make the better Nihil pouches. You can only do this if you have 81 divination or higher, so if you don't have 81 divination or higher, you're going to have to settle for the pouches that the Avianti Talon makes. But if you do have 81 divination, you are going to have 10 Elder Energy per Avianti Talon that you have in your inventory, and then click on the Elder Energy and then you can weave them into whichever one that you want. I recommend using the one that I'm showing on screen right now, as these make the Blood Nihil pouches. And I recommend this one because I highly doubt this one is ever going to crash because people use Blood Nihil pouches all the time. So this one is probably going to remain the most expensive for a while. But if you're ever in doubt, just check the Runescape wiki or the Runescape Grand Exchange to see which one will make you the most money. Then once they are done, just head over to an obelisk and make the pouches. The pouches should make up around 50% of the profit that you're going to be making at Nihils. You are going to need to buy more Elder Energy off the Grand Exchange in order to make the pouches. So just make sure that you have enough money to do that. It is worth doing in the long run because you are going to be making a lot of money from this, and you're also going to be getting some free summoning XP as well. Also, if you want to see a rough estimate of the money that you're going to be making, I made a loot from 2000 Nihil video on my channel. I'll link that as an annotation now, and I'll also link it in the description as well. So just check that out if you're interested. But anyways, that is the end of the guide. I hope this helped you. Have fun camping Nihils and making a lot of money. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new, and peace!